In 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome to the show. I'm SM SithLord, and you know what that means. That means that this is the build stream, happening twice a week right here on the streaming channels you are currently watching on. I am making sure that I'm in the chat, watching the stream, in case I have any technical difficulties like I had not too long ago. And now I'm about ready to make it happen. Hey, oh. Wait a second. I'm trying to get it so I can see both the chats at the same time on my other monitor. Easier said than done. Dave. Okay, I'm singing to myself here because I'm listening to pirate sea shanties while I work on this thing. Let me turn that down so I jive into the same music the stream is hearing. Okay, that's more like it. So, last time, once I switched my mouse input over to the correct screen, we created this scene. This is a pirate ship model from Sketchfab, and it is attached to, let me go into fly mode here. It is attached to, or it is housed in this scene with an AI skybox generated for it from that awesome AI skybox generating website, Blockade Labs or something like that. And scrolling texture thrown onto the water plane, making it look like we're rolling. So this is looking good. I actually did some work after the stream last time to clean it up enough to get it onto a parcel here. It's on parcel number 13 on a web world. But today I need to add some content to this of two forms. I want to get some ambient noises going on, and I want to get some sea shanties in here that people can listen to. And maybe some more. In fact, maybe a lot more. Maybe a playlist of pirate movie YouTube scenes, like from pirate movies. That would be cool. So we're gonna get into the webworld's SDK over here, the PlayCanvas editor, and make some stuff. Another thing I was thinking of doing today was organizing my GitHub repos, because I have a whole bunch of different web worlds now. I have more web worlds than I'm rented parcels to put them on. So I was going to do a couple things. One is each web world I have is a separate repo on my GitHub. I was thinking of making one GitHub repo and calling it web worlds, and then putting all of the different web worlds into subfolders into there. I think I'm going to do that maybe today, but after I get this parcel hooked up with some media. So let's start there. I want a web browser. Let's see, web browser object. I already have a sample one in here, so I'll just pull it out of the sample scene so it's not hidden anymore. There it is. Now I was thinking, what's the best place to have this big old web tab to view? And maybe off the starboard side. Look at that. No, I was totally wrong. Maybe off the port side. That's the place to put it. You gotta put it off port. You know how you can remember the difference between port and starboard? Just remember the last boat you were on that was at port and what direction it was facing. Hopefully that works for you. If that doesn't work for you, then you're gonna have to think of like some kind of naming, rhyming convention. But just think back, the last boat you were on, it was parked at the port. Which side was the port on and which side was the boat facing? And using that logic, I know that the left-hand side is port. Good morning, Davy Jones. Okay, I need to look up a cool YouTube video to put onto there. But I also want other cool music videos. Or not music videos, I want these sea shanties. So let's do that. Let's look up this one right here. This is Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, all 35 sea shanties, HD quality plus lyrics YouTube video from YouTube. That's what I want. That's It's an hour of pirate songs. I can dig it. Cool. So let's get that in here. We're gonna put that, I think, up here. Good morning, Davy Jones. I'll put this other web tab. So I'll duplicate this one and put it over here. This can be a small one. Okay, this web tab, I know I'm only going to have music videos or this audio playing on it. It's not even a music video. So what I'm going to do is two things. In order to click on these objects, they have to not be blocked by colliders. Here are the ship colliders. So it looks like we're good. None of these are going to be blocked by the colliders. We're great. We don't have any big walls that would block stuff. Cool. Just had to check. Okay, over here is going to be a little web tab. And the resolution I'm going to set to low because I know this is just going to be playing sea shanties. I have the sea shanties URL right there, and I'll put in sea shanties. Did I spell that correctly? Shanties, yeah. Sea shanties. A go-to button, don't need it. Open a new tab button, don't really need it, but I'll put it in there in case people want to check it out. UI button in world, yep. And I'm considering autoplay for this one. We'll see. I'm gonna autoplay one of these, something that has like the background music or something like that. Okay, so now I need to put an image for this web tab over here. Let me start firing up my graphics program because I want to do a couple things today. It's going to involve 3ds Max, and it's going to involve showing people how to kind of polish the experience that people will have when they join their web world via a tracked mode camera, like the camera that shows when before the user clicks on anything. I'm going to animate a camera spinning around my ship, and signage, because users are going to drop into your world and have absolutely no idea what to do with like what's happening. Like, what is this world? What is it about? So having some signs up there that just gives people some advice like, hey, click here to listen to some sea shanties, click over here to watch movies, or just hang out and talk to your friends. Something as similar to that, as simple as that, is going to make, it's going to explain to people what the purpose is of this particular scene, and they won't be disappointed, unhappy players searching for something that's not there. Like, okay, if I could just find the right button, I'm gonna make it to land, I'm gonna storm the castle or something like that. You don't want people to be in search of something that is not there. You have to manage expectations, and signage is a good way to kind of guide people along. So over here, I need to have a really cool pirate poster. Okay, this one's pretty cool. Let's copy that. I'm gonna put it over here in an image that is, okay, let's make it start off being 1280 by 720. And then we'll resize it down so it's 512 on its big axis. Okay, there is our sign. And we need text on our sign. This is going to be the thumbnail that goes on this web browser. So instead of saying web browser, it's going to be this image. And it's going to say, in whatever cool text I find to put it in. Maybe some old English kind of text, because we are doing pirate theme stuff. believer. Okay, then let's get a cool speaker icon. Or no, we'll do music. Believer. Okay, let's just go with that. File save as. And I'll save it as a JPEG. And I'll save it as cshanties.jpg. Wait a second, I want to save it as a particular quality JPG. 90 will do. It'll do, it's a small image. Okay, now I have my image that I want to use. Let's get into the Asset Explorer here, get it into the Asset Explorer here, and assign it to my web browser object, this one over here. I'll make a different one for the other. Okay, so I need a new material to hold this new texture, and I'll call it Sea Shanties material, and I'll assign it Sea Shanties for diffuse and also for the emissive. And then I'll assign that material to this object, and now we have the thumbnail in there. And we can go and click on it and play it. Now, it's still not too noticeable, so I'm going to add something else to this thing. I'm going to go over here and say, behind this web world, this web browser object, physically behind it, I will put template. I don't need any of this stuff. What we do need is a 3D render of a plane. Okay. Okay, we got this cool thing. But I think it could look cooler. What do you think here? I want to attract even more attention to this thing. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it a special material, and then I'm going to scroll that material on it. The material I'm going to scroll is going to be colorful particle tileable. Something that'll look good when it scrolls. This might look cool when it scrolls. I'm just gonna scroll the image. Let's see here. Is this the one that I'm gonna roll with? If I have this on here is the purple, and then I have the opacity on there, and I scroll the texture, not the opacity, it could be really cool. So yeah, let's go ahead and I'll just copy this and then paste it into here as a texture. I'll call it highlight BG, and then I need an opacity to go along with that. Something similar to this because it fades it out on the edges. Okay, I might have to make my own here. Let's make my own here. My own would be that, and then I'm just trying to think what kind of alpha would look the coolest on this. That one that I just took off might be pretty cool. Yeah, let's put that one back, and then we'll do something with this. A huge airbrush. So I need full black on the edges so that the alpha mask doesn't have any weird visible artifacts on the edges. So I'm using a huge paint airbrush tool here to darken up the edges and do a circle. Okay, and now I'm going to give a cool texture to this thing to apply to the rest of it. Okay, let's see how that works for an alpha channel. That might be too heavy. I don't know. Let's see. And now I want to upload both of those textures that I just made. It'll take a second. Take some of my coffee here. Okay, got both of those on there, and now over here I need to make a new material for the highlight. Call it highlight. very much misspelled. And then I'll assign it there. And then for the emissive, I'll put that one. And for the opacity, I'll put that one. Okay, and now I want it to be cool by going into the texture scroll manager, adding a second material that I want to scroll, putting the highlight material in there, and let's just see what direction it scrolls by going into the test chamber. Okay, it's not scrolling. I know why. It's because on the scroll manager, I told it to scroll diffuse. I actually want it to scroll emissive on this one. And I need to give it a direction. There we go. Let's see if we can play with the opacity a little bit more. My opacity map needs to be inverted. Okay. I think it needs to be inverted. We'll soon find out. Oh, you know what? Ah, okay. So I don't think I do need to invert my opacity. My opacity was fine. What's happening is it's getting confused rendering the sky, this layer of water behind it. What is that? So if I go over here and I look at this thing's opacity, it doesn't have alpha coverage. And that doesn't fix it anyways, but maybe this one having alpha coverage will fix it. Yeah. Okay, I think that's what I'm rolling with. That is what our clickable web tabs will look like in this scene. I'll be able to go over, click on it, and listen to the sea shanties. Okay, and then over here, I need content, and then, which will be another YouTube video. Let me think, which one should this be? Here's 9 clips, 12 clips, 17 clips. $52 clips here. And these all look cool. Okay, so this is the one. Let's spawn this playlist on this web browser. Let's call it Pirates Scenes. Pirates Movie Clips. Yeah. Okay, still not sure if this is the one that's going to autoplay or if it's going to be this one. But let's get this thing cloned and moved over here. Okay. So that's pretty good. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Now we need to put a wallpaper image on it and show a movie clip thing on it to show that it's a video. Okay. I can do something like this by going to pirate wallpaper. Now this is going to be something floating out on the sea, so something like this is probably good. Sufficient memory. A movie reel icon of some sort. It kind of looks like a bomb, but no, that's a movie reel. Call this one pirate scenes. Okay. Now going back over to here. Duplicate the sea shanties material I made because I'm going to call this one pirate scenes. Then I'm going to upload the image. Okay, I did that because I don't want, I want to be able to see the water while I'm watching the scenes. I don't want it to all be that background image. Even though that background image is pretty cool and has that scrolling material on it. I wasn't happy with how well this thing was popping, so I'm making another little outline around it. Okay, do I need more scenes? Probably not. Or more web tabs? Browsers? Probably not, but I need to name this one. I did name it. The thumbnail. Okay, let's set the thumbnail. So down here in the web browser scripts options here, you see it has autoplay. I am going to autoplay the sea shanties. And then UI thumbnail. This is the image that shows up in the menu when somebody clicks on the thing. So I'm going to use the same image that shows up in World. Good. Sea shanties. There we go. And now that will show up in the menu too. And let's do the same thing over here. We're going to use the same image that we used in the world for the menu. Pirate scenes. Cool. Okay, next up is, that's all looking good, we want to get an animated attract camera going in here. Let me think here. What's the easiest way to do this attract camera? I got an idea. I'm plugging my 3D mouse because I'm going into 3ds Max to make an animation in an FBX. You can use any app to create an animation, such as Blender. I'll be using 3ds Max today. The key to it is to export as an animatable format, either GLB or FBX. I will be exporting in FBX today, but a well-made animated GLB would work just as well. My screen went black. Let me fix this. Aha, I caught it this time. Sorry for that. I do have to press a couple buttons over here though. And into this button. And we should be back. Almost. Oh! There we go. Then I need to click over here. Excuse me. There we go. Now we're back in business. Why did I open up the image editing program? I wonder. I shouldn't have. I should have opened up 3ds Max. That's what I wanted to open. Okay, can I open up 3ds Max? Going to do the orbit camera. What else do I need in here? These windows. Ooh, these windows. There was a challenge with these windows because of the way the model was made. And I think that the best way to address them is just to leave them alone and not make them see-through, okay? Am I gonna put anything down here? Maybe. That might be cool. I know what I could put down here. Pirate ship documentary YouTube. Not modern pirates. Maybe we need to search YouTube for the golden age of piracy, terror at sea, 2 hour long. This looks good. Let's cut that and that URL, and we're going to put it into a web browser down here. Duplicate both of those. Down, down. And I'm envisioning this thing being right over here. So. So that you can hang out under here and learn about pirates from the belly of a pirate ship while sailing across the sea. Yeah, educational here. But seriously, you learn a lot from watching these documentaries. Most of the things that I know about the letters of marque and how the difference between a buccaneer and a pirate and those kind of things, and the difference between there's pirates. And then there's buccaneers, which are really mostly land people at first, not even on boats. But then there are the kind of pirate that is certified. They are certified with a letter of marque from a country, allowing them to attack ships from an enemy country. So they're no longer pirates. They are, the word escape, legionnaires? No, maybe. I don't know. The word escapes me. But they are something, not pirates. And I wouldn't have learned that fact that I could not remember unless I watched documentaries. Okay, so this one is going to be the pirate ship documentary from this URL. And I want to give it its own image, just like the other ones. So to give it its own image, I do need to open up my editing program again and find another pirate wallpaper that I like. One that looks super informative. That one, that just looks so informative to me. Yeah. Copy this thing and put it into here once it opens up. And then, I'm doing all right on time, I should be. I'll jump over to Sketchfab and grab some stuff. I'm gonna grab possibly a sea monster, possibly a pirate with a peg leg, and a parrot, if I can find one, and position them in the scene here. Might as well jump over to Sketchfab right now. Here's a pirate. What else do we got? There's a pirate. It's like a robot pirate. After all that optimization that I did, I might wreck everything by adding in a bunch of models right now, because it will make it more interesting to have a bunch of models in there. Hey, there's the boat that I'm using. Here is a guy that's 20,000 polys. We could get him in there. What else do we got? Here's a guy that is 6,000 polys. We can get him in there for sure. Here's some crap that is 6,000 polys. That looks real good. Might want to get that in there. And then these are nice because it's like an asset pack, and you can reuse that table a bunch of times and kind of make you can make a whole pirate pub using this stuff. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start with this guy, 20,000 polygons. I'll download him as an FBX, but also, yeah, just the FBX. Because look, the GLB, it's twice as big as the FBX. And the reason is because of the optimization of materials and the way that Sketchfab auto-converts things from FBX to GLB is not always the most optimal way to do it. Because it is an automated process, after all. So I grabbed the original format that the original author published onto Sketchfab, and now I'm uploading it to my scene. It was only 2 megabytes, so it shouldn't lag me very much. Actually, this one was less than 2 megabytes because it didn't have the textures included. The textures are over here. Drop these in here. Okay. And then I drop my template into my ship like that. And I am going to put him down there. It's kind of a shame to put him down there because not everybody's going to venture down there to find him. However, those that do will not be disappointed. That's good. Okay, he's tiny. He's tiny. He needs to be scaled up. How much does he need to be scaled up by? He needs to be scaled up by... not that much. Not that much. Bigger than that. Bigger than that. Oh, wow. Way bigger than that, actually. I might need to be 0.1. There we go. Don't you love the metric system? I think that's the size he's supposed to be, but I'm going to make him bigger than he's supposed to be. By a lot. Okay, when I'm walking around down here, I can fit between the mast and the cannon, but it's a little bit of a tight fit. Just trying to figure out the best place to put this guy. I want to put him right here, but he'd kind of block the passageway. He's right there. Wouldn't he? He would. Oh, cool. It's an individual barrel. I couldn't move that. That's a Unix system. I know this. I think this guy could stand over here. Now we're getting somewhere. He could be turned to face me a little bit more. Okay, this is a pretty good view for learning about pirates. Let's look at his material. His material has a lot of stuff going on in it. We need a diffuse on it. This is pose B. Pose B albedo. Ooh, that also assigns the normals. He looks funny. Just a little funny. Maybe he just looks funny because he's in the shadow and his clothes are very funny. So let's make his clothes not so funny. This guy's nothing to laugh at. Oh, okay. So it's kind of like the shading that's making him look that way. All right, maybe that's fine. Let's get the rest of his clothes done and then decide if we want to make him full bright or not. Because he does have shading kind of built into him. This one is pose A still, okay? Oh, this isn't still. This is the first time I'm going to be using pose A, and pose A is going to have an albedo. It applied the gloss and all that good stuff. Diffuse color is going to be black. Okay, all my pose A stuff is used. My pose B stuff is used also. What is this? Pose M. Cool, cool. All right, I'm using all the materials there. That's how the guy's supposed to look. Now we have a character in here. I'm going to put a light on this character. You don't want to put too many lights in your scene. I'm going to use one on this character to really get the most out of him. He's 20,000 polygons after all. We want him to look like it. Okay, here's your downstairs learning area. It would be cool if this guy was animated. He's not animated, I don't think. It would have said so if he was animated. He's not. So he's just a prop. He'll just be standing there, but he will look real nice next to this hour-long video that can be watched right there. Now, let's get that other guy, that other robot up here somewhere. He was a pirate robot, far fewer polygons. Let's download him. So they want to give me a blend for him or a GLB. I'm going to download the GLB. The GLB is actually smaller than the blend in this case. And I'm really doing this because I do not want to open Blender. I just want to drag and drop this GLB into my Asset Explorer, which is exactly what I can do. I have a GLB, dragging and dropping it into the Asset Explorer. Did I break everything? Things are acting really weird. I'm going to go ahead and refresh. I may have broken my entire projects there somehow. No, we're good. We're completely good. And I can drop this guy into here. Oh, he's huge. We don't want him that huge. We actually probably want him pretty tiny. Hey, he's got a pirate peg leg. That's what I was hoping for. Yar. Set sail, mateys. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. He looks cool, and that was easy peasy. Just drag and drop in the GLB in there. He's kind of huge. I don't want him that huge. There, now he looks like he's holding the wheel, even though he can barely see over it. This guy's like a screenshot opportunity though, so we actually want him to face the camera a little more. Okay. Looking good. So both my directional lights go in the same direction, which is not good for lighting back faces. That's better. And you can actually see that guy down there. That's interesting because now it's like, well, how do I get down there? I gotta go to below decks like this. And then you're here. And you can watch this dude. I'm gonna pull that thing away from the wall ever so slightly. Yar. Okay, one more model that I'll be trying to dig up here and fill in. Oh wait, I got a couple more models actually if I use these cool barrels. And these are cool barrels and they do have a map on them. So if I was going to download this, it's going to be 83 megabytes as an OBJ or 3 megabytes as a GLB. Let's see, which one do I want there? I think I'll go with the GLB. Same process as the other GLB, drag and drop it into the Asset Explorer. Now what PlayCanvas is doing here, the PlayCanvas editor here, that I have the Somnium WebWorld template loaded into, you upload a raw GLB, I'll call it a raw GLB, just a GLB asset to it. Now you don't know what kind of GLB this is. Maybe it's a compressed one, maybe it's not. Maybe it has 1,000 materials, maybe it has one all atlas to it. You don't know. After you drag and drop the GLB in the Asset Explorer, you know, because PlayCanvas treats the GLB model that you uploaded exactly the same as an FBX model that you would upload to it. It treats it as a source asset format. Source as like it's the original art asset. It's the one that the artist passed in. And then what it does, and usually, especially in GLB's case, those kind of files, they have materials and models all packed inside of it into one container. And it's a pretty big file sometimes because all the materials, they're not shared between other models, right? They're all self-contained. Now, when you're building a scene in the editor like this, any editor, you're going to be combining many assets together. And when you're combining many assets together, every asset having its, like being compartmentalized and having all of its textures and stuff bundled into that one file, that's actually bad. That's not optimized for a scene that has multiple objects in it. To optimize a scene that has multiple objects in it, you want the assets to share. You want the models to share stuff like materials and textures and stuff like that. So what the PlayCanvas editor does here when I drag and drop that GLB in is it extracted all of these files from that one source GLB. Not only that, it gave us a new GLB. You see that this one doesn't say source on it because it's not the source GLB, it's the one that was auto-created from the source. And this is the one that's actually used by the application. The original GLB, this 3.25 megabyte one that I uploaded, it's not even distributed with the project. It is only there to generate all this other stuff. And that's the beauty of the Asset Explorer there. You drag and drop a GLB or an FBX into it, it does not matter. It treats them exactly the same, extracting them so you can optimize them, modify them as needed. And that's what we're going to do right now. Although we're not going to have to modify this. Hopefully, let me just drag it, well, a little bit, I suppose. Let me drag and drop the pirate ship props into here. There they are. Looks like they're already properly scaled. Okay, now I could position these, separate these things and position them all over the place. However, I think that I'm going to keep them together as one unit, and I'm going to put them for a photo op, another photo op area for you to stand next to it and take a cool screenshot, which I will be doing. Oh, I can see the opacity is already causing an issue on that thing right there. Opacity. The auto-converted thing wrecked my opacity. Let's see here. It wrecked my opacity. So how am I going to get the opacity for this thing back? I wonder. I'm going to probably have to download the original version of this asset, which is a blend file. All because I want this map. I do kind of want this map, though. I don't know if it's worth all that, though. How are we doing on time? I'm an hour and 3 into it. Opening up Blender and extracting the material is going to eat some time. Especially when it's an 83. Oh, it's an OBJ. Okay, let's download this OBJ. Downloading a gigantic OBJ. So big that I'm surprised it is not damaging my internet connectivity. And now I'm hoping that in here, I've got the texture for the opacity. Yeah. There it is. Okay, wow, these are 4K textures. We're gonna resize. PNG resize. I think that this one auto-sized them down to 1024. Yeah, so let's size this one down to 1024. Here's something that's not optimal. Using a separate material for your opacity. Because when you use a separate material for your opacity, instead of just using the alpha channel of your albedo or whatever, then there's just another texture download. And it's wasteful because texture, instead of RBGA, it really just needs to be A, which is 8-bit alpha is what most things use. That lets you do different levels of alpha. There are a lot of different levels of alpha, so you could blend from transparent to not transparent, opaque. But that doesn't use the red colors or the blue colors or the green colors. So you got all that extra data packed in this image. It doesn't need to be there, or it's formatted to have that data. So what I just did should help some. Well, it's going to resolve the problem here. It's going to be opacity. It's not going to optimize because it's still its own material. However, when I go over here and I say that the opacity is supposed to be this, what just happened? That wasn't supposed to happen. How could that have failed? Hold on, we're better than this. How did this happen? This is 1.png, 0.png, 1.png. This is the correct stuff. These are, but it's all weirded out. How is that weirded out? That should not be weirded out. Oh, wait a second. Okay, so this is 1024 by 1024. This is also 1024 by 1024. This is an opacity map. Why isn't it working? Something weird is going on. Hey, this is pretty optimized. You see how it's got metalness and glossiness packed into the same texture, using blue for metalness and green for glossiness. That's real good. The opacity, on the other hand, not so good. And I do not see why it is happening, unless maybe I just need to refresh. What? No. That should not be happening. What does it mean? What does it mean? Oh, maybe. Oh, wait, no, I don't know what it means. Nothing is supposed to be offset. That opacity is so wrong. And I can't fix it. So you know what I'm gonna do? X-nay on these really cool props here. Snay. Really? How is this even? Oh, the map is up on top. Okay, so if the map is up on top, then the opacity should have that showing up there. Okay. I see. Wow. Okay, I see. I see. Aha. Let's see, image. Why did I need to do that? I do not know. But because it's done, that should fix it. But it doesn't totally fix it. I am at a loss and I'm going to have to give up. This has to do with the auto-generated GLB. So if I downloaded the artist's original format, which was an OBJ in this case, these weird auto-conversion issues with the opacity not working right on this thing would go away, but I'd have to process it through Blender instead. And I do not want to process this through Blender instead. So I'm probably going to end up deleting this treasure map in just a moment and then look for another model. Yeah. Let's see what's on the top over here. Okay, what I actually should have done is flipped it vertically. So weird. That is what it wants with the auto conversion. And with that, I should be good. Yeah. Weird, but I figured it out at least. And then I gotta trim off the edges of the map like so. All right, we're gonna roll with this thing. It's gonna add quite a good amount of size. So let's try compressing these things. Basis compression. I don't always have the best luck compressing these auto-converted materials, but we're gonna give it a try. Basis compress. That brought them down for transfer size. It did not bring them down for runtime size, so they are going to be impacting VRAM quite a bit. That's okay though. This isn't a hyper-optimized world. We're not going for complete mobile friendliness here. Here's a texture that's already pretty well optimized, but I'm going to compress it anyways and see if I break it. Nope. Okay, and then I got one more thing down here to compress. A few more things bound to this guy. Many more things bound to this guy. All of his materials we're going to try to basis compress. Using ETH smaller size, lower quality, default quality setting. ETC, not ETH. Now you'll notice this guy doesn't have like the metallic and the glossiness merged into the different color channels of an individual material. So in that regard, this guy is actually less optimized than the auto-converted GLBs. But it's kind of a mixed bag of nuts there. You get some things improved and some things not improved when you do the auto-conversion. The only way to be sure that you're highest quality and optimized is to touch the thing yourself. You got to get your hands dirty and get those vertices and edges all stuck onto your fingers, you know. Be sure to wash your hands after. Okay, looking good, looking good. How about one more model in here? if we could find a sea monster. Like a kraken. I might have to just search for kraken. There's a sea monster. These are sea monsters that live in the sea. Animated kraken. That looks promising. Although it looked kind of high resolution. High poly. The giant octopus is actually what I want. But I actually just want his legs sticking up. Like this. Okay, so how's this looking? This thing is 100,000 triangles. That's not good. How about this one? This one is only 6,000 triangles. This is the one we're rolling with. This is a pretty cool model. Okay, tell me this is an FBX, please. It is. This will be the last thing that I add to the scene. It's going to sufficiently complicate or complexify, we'll say, the scene. But hopefully I can keep the optimization somewhat under control. All that extracts. Better close all these things down. Yar. Okay, here we go. Let's get this Kraken FBX into the asset panel there. Let me just show you a couple things about importing assets into the PlayCanvas editor here. I just drag and dropped an FBX in there and it automatically created a folder for it. That's actually something you can adjust. If you go into the editor here and you click on the settings tab and you go to asset tasks, down here, model import settings, there's so many things that you could adjust. Preserve model material mappings. We will try to preserve the material mappings that were set by the user on the existing model. So that's cool there. Overwrite models, all this overwriting stuff. Create FBX folder, that's that thing. That should say GLB folder also, because it does the same thing for GLBs. That's what creates the folder when you import it. And mesh compression. Okay, this is a new one. They just added this to the editor here just recently. Now you could have already used GLBs that were compressed, but it's built into the editor now. You can do Draco compression on your GLBs when you import them. Also, it's not just GLBs. You could do Draco compression on FBXs, and the reason is when you import something into the PlayCanvas editor here, it's going to automatically convert whatever file that you uploaded to a GLB internally, because that's what this engine works off of internally. So it doesn't matter if it's a GLB or an FBX that you upload, it's going to end up a GLB, and you can compress it with Draco compression if you check this box. I'm not going to do that right now, though. We're good. Let's drop in the Kraken. Draco compression is huge, by the way. If you have a model that is very geometry heavy, vertex heavy, polygon heavy, that's what Draco compression does. It compresses the mesh. So it can take something down a dramatic amount. Because if you have something like a vehicle, like a car, which was the example that they had in their announcement about Draco compression, it's going to have like a million polygons or something like that. And simply storing the vertex data on something like that makes a gigantic file size. You run that through Draco compression, and it can reduce the size of your thing by like 90-something%, depending on if it's a good fit for Draco compression or not, which is mostly just being geometry heavy, and that being the problem with the file size. Okay, water, get rid of that. Tentacles, yes. Add. Animation. We gotta make the easiest animation state graph ever. It's just a blank animation state graph that's going to give us this down here to put our animation into. Now our tentacles will be animated, but I also want to make sure that they're textured. So over here, we got to upload some textures. These are 1024 by 1024 textures. They're not too crazy. Okay, I can dig it. I don't hate this guy. We don't need the ocean stuff, so just these two should do it. No, I shouldn't need that either. But this one I should need, and it should have a diffuse. Now this is a normal map and a specular map at the same time. That's cool. I think I know how they did that. I think they have that for the normals. I know of some engines that do this. And then for the specular, we're going to say to use the alpha. Is that right? Maybe that's better. Oh no, it's not better. Does this thing even have an alpha channel? Maybe it doesn't. So we got the normals. And then there, now it looks a little wet. All right, now we need to make these things huge like an actual real life Kraken would be. We're going for realism here with our Kraken. Hope this doesn't kill my scrolling water effect. Let's try it out. Oh man, this thing is smacking us. This thing is not happy with us. Okay, I'm trying to decide if I like this or not. I don't think that I do. I think that I'm going to remove this Kraken. It does work, but I think that it distracts from the chillness and it changes the vibe way too much. So let's get rid of that. No Kraken! No Krakens around here. We're going to sail to avoid the Krakens. And I think with that, we are pretty much done here. I have this one set to automatically play, which will be the background noise. I sometimes like to put like a soundscape, but I think the sea shanties will suffice. Let me make sure I don't have autoplay on any of my other things. That would be disastrous. Nope, we're good, we're good. And I'm ready to build this thing and put it on a parcel. Let's make it so. All right, setting. No, we're gonna go over here. Build and publish. Okay, and I'm going to manage my GitHub repos a little bit because of what I was talking about earlier. Instead of having 20 repos all with different web worlds in them, whoa, Vino is posting stuff. Cross-platform, graphics API agnostic, bring your own engine, framework style rendering library. What is that? I'll have to read up on that later. Anyways, I need to go to my newest repo. Sandy Beach Web World. Okay, I'm going to change this up some. I'm going to change this to be... Can I edit the name of this thing? Yeah. My Somnium Space Web Worlds. Yeah, sure. Rename. Okay. And then I'm going to restructure this some. To create a folder is what I want to create. Yeah, well, okay, so and then over here, I just downloaded the zip. Okay. Extract to there. Need this to let's call it pirate ship. Okay, this should do it, I think. And then I click upload files, and I want to upload this folder. Yeah. So soon, this repo will likely become the repo that holds all of my web worlds in subfolders. That's the way to do it. Either way works. You don't need to use GitHub either, by the way. So the way that the web worlds works is you can self-host your web world anywhere. That is a regular web host that you can configure. You can configure GitHub Pages, which is completely free to use. You can configure it to be used as like your web space, and that's how I have this parcel on this web world on a parcel right now. You could also use your own web space if you know how to set up cross-origin resource sharing, which is a term that you should become familiar with if you're into this whole interoperable web thing, because cross-origin resource sharing is it's the newish way for one website to define the kind of stuff that it's going to let another website directly load. In the past, you might be familiar with something called hot linking, and that's when you link directly to an image that's on somebody else's server. When you load something like that, their server, here's your server, right? And it hot links an image, and here's their server where the image comes from. Say like this is a GitHub repo or something. Your website requests from that server that image. And when it makes that request, it has something called a refer address, and that is saying what your site's URL is that's requesting the resource. Cross-origin resource sharing determines if the request gets serviced or not, because it analyzes the address that the request is coming in at, compares it to some headers that are set up on the web server, and if everything checks out, it lets you direct load it. But if everything doesn't check out, like if you come from a domain that the other server says, no, we only let our images get loaded by a specific domain and you ain't it, it's going to deny the request and not load over here. Cross-origin resource sharing. You'll have to become familiar with that term if you spend a lot of time doing this whole interoperable web thing. Okay, this looks good. Click commit changes. Now this is the first time I've uploaded a web world to a subfolder, so there's going to be a little bit of testing that's going to go on here, but I think it'll work out pretty good. And then, before I move all my other repos into subfolders of this repo, I have to do a little bookkeeping. I have to remember exactly where each of the web worlds are assigned to each parcel and make sure that I don't break anything when I take down the other repos and move everything over to this repo. But the cool thing is, I'll have one repo that people could go to see all of the web worlds that I've built. And not only can you check them out there, but you'll be able to assign them to your own parcels, which is pretty cool. Okay, pirate ship. How are we doing on GitHub Pages? 3 minutes ago we were deployed. Is 3 minutes ago soon enough? Maybe. Okay, instead of my Somnium Space Web Worlds, it's a weird name. We're gonna rename this thing yet again. Rename this thing. Som Web Worlds. Nice and shorter. Now I guess I have to wait for the deployment to catch up, the action. Okay, and then I'll assign it to the parcel, and then we'll be cooking. Now the reason I have to go assign it to the parcel again is because I changed the URL. If I didn't change the URL, I wouldn't have had to do anything. To see the newest version on parcel number. Somnium Space 13 here. However, when I load in here, I'm going to see the old version of the pirate ship because of the URL thing that I just mentioned. And I didn't delete the old one, so it should still be in there. No, the old one's gone. The old one's gone and the new one is almost ready to go. But yeah, the old one's gone because I changed the name of the repo. Yeah. It is soon to be repaired though, once that in progress goes to, I guess, either active or completed. Active, all right. Over here, and then I say slash pirate ship. Now this one will load me into the version, the newest version. There we go. All right, everything's looking correct in here. So let's assign it to the parcel by logging in. It couldn't load my old web world, the one that I had on here, because I changed the URL, so it just loaded the default build that I have on this parcel. But over here, I'm going to change this to a holistic from this URL, save and reload, and guess what? I'm going to have it over here. And I'll be able to watch the music videos and the movie scenes and stuff like that too. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to set the attract camera, and I forgot to demonstrate how to do that. And I forgot to make the animation. How much time do we have? I got about 30 minutes. It's happening. Let me just drop in here real quick and check the other stuff. How are we looking? We got pirate movie scenes over here that we could totally view in world. Awesome. I just realized I set the resolution to low on all of these. But I think that's fine because they're just music, or they're just little videos anyways. They don't need to be super high res. Okay, so I could stand over here and watch Pirates of the Caribbean clips for a while. Or this clip. Or I can go over here. Oh, the sea shanties are automatically playing. I just have them muted right now. Awesome. Close that, and let's go down below decks. What's up, bro? Just to make sure that our guy looks good down here and he has his video playable. But there was a problem with this one. Okay, this is good, but there's a problem with this one. Okay, let's fix these things. And at the same time, I'm going to start opening up 3ds Max. Okay, over here I forgot to set the UI image. It was showing the other UI image. So let's fix that. This should be showing... Oh, I never made this image! That's why I had my image editing program opening up there. Oh, wow. Okay, I got a couple things to do here. Gotta make the documentary image down there, and I have to make my attract mode camera, but besides that, we should be good. Now, here is my attract mode camera. For now, I'm just gonna make a stationary one. Right here. Okay, while I jump over here and fix those other two things. Oh, Billy Riley, oh. Learn about pirates is what we'll call this one. Call this one Pirate Learn. There we go. Now we're ready to learn about pirates, but I also want to replace this one. Okay, now it should show the correct images for all these things. Save. The final thing that I wanted to do, it autosaves, is make this attract camera actually move around. Okay, it's a Unix system. We know this. Let's say that our... first of all, let's make sure that we're in the right units. We're not. We need to be in metric meters. Yeah. Now let's make a capsule that will represent our pirate ship. This will be about yay big. I'm not even going to export this capsule in the end. I'm just going to use it as a reference point, and then I'm going to scale the animation to be correctly, because I'm actually just going to have an orbiting camera. Okay, now let's say that that's our pirate ship. Okay, and then let's say that this thing here, this sphere, is our camera. Like that. Okay. And I'm going to be doing a simple orbit camera. So this little ball I am going to export. It's not too important though, because I'm going to hide it at the end. So this thing is going to be pointing to this, and then it's going to rotate around like this, all the way around, around, and around infinitely. Just a simple orbit. How do we do that? Easy peasy. We're going to grab the origin, and we're going to set the origin at the origin of the scene, the pirate ship. And then we're going to figure out how many keyframes our thing is. I'm going to make this 700. No, I'll make it 500 frames. You could adjust the speed in-game afterwards. So I'm going to go ahead and go to 1,000 because this is a very large loop. It's covering a lot of meters here. Okay, so we're going to animate there. And then when it ends, we want it to end at the same place over here at 1,000. There. And no, actually, over here. Did I animate the wrong? No, I didn't. Over here, we want this thing to be animate or spun 160 degrees, like so. Okay, now we're gonna get into the dope sheet. Check it out, man. Okay, so here's why we need to go to the dope sheet. There is our animation that's going to be the camera slowly orbiting around about that speed. But the thing is, this ball, this camera position, it has an easing function. It has ease in and out automatically applied, which means that it would not be a smooth rotation. It would slow down till when it gets back to origin, and then it would start speeding up again, we're going to completely remove that anomaly by going into what's called the dope sheet. The dope sheet you may be familiar with for various things, but what we're going to do here is smooth this line out. So this thing needs to be turned into a linear line, and this is the rotation. Right? It's the zerotation. Zerotation needs to be converted to a line. And this needs to be a line. Okay, now what they call that there is linear interpolation. It's just a straight line between the values that it's interpolating through. The one that we saw before, this is an ease. It kind of looks like a Pepsi symbol. That's ease in, out. Because see how this line represents motion. It slowly gets moving, and then it slows down at the end to come to a rest. That's what makes it like slowly start when it gets to its orbit, and then slowly come to an end, and then start speeding up again. Let's get rid of that. We're going to get rid of that by making it linear interpolation. So it's going to just instantly be going the speed, and it's not going to slow down when it gets to its final point. And now, if I click play, you'll notice that the ball instantly starts moving at constant speed, because that's how linear interpolation works. And it's going to go all the way around, and you won't even be able to tell where it loops, because it's just going to be perfectly, infinitely looped, which is what we want. Okay, so now I'm going to delete the pirate ship placeholder, and I'm going to export this whole thing as attractcam.fbx. And I want the animations in. I got to bake the animations in. That step will be different depending on if you're using Cinema 4D, Blender, 3ds Max. But you just need to make sure the animation gets into your file that you export. Doesn't matter if it's an FBX or a GLB that you export. Both are compatible. And now, we got the attract cam here, and I'm going to drop the attract cam template into the scene. It looks like it's mirrored, but other than that, it's not mirrored. It's rotated 180 degrees. So I'll just rotate this 180, and now it's very similar to what we had going on in the test in 3ds Max where I made the thing. Okay, we're going to create another easiest animation state graph in the world, so that when I go over here and I say that I want to animate, I can drag and drop the state graph into there, and then drag and drop the sequence into there. All of those steps. All right, now when I click, when I go play it, I'm going to see the ball moving around. Now this is like a visual aid for me to see how fast it's moving and all that kind of stuff. So I go over here, I look for the ball. There's the ball. It's moving pretty fast, but not insanely fast. So I think this is good. I just want to make sure that it has enough clearance when it goes behind us. Otherwise, I might need to scale it, the animation some. Okay, we're good. This ball, and we'll make sure that it smoothly loops over here when it gets back to the front. It's not going to do any easing, linear interpolation between its frames, and you can't even tell where it loops. Perfect. Now, this camera that we created and we're so carefully positioned, I'm going to change and move and alter. So let's go back to here and make this thing's rotation to 0, 0, 0. And we want this camera to be inside of the ball. Attract cam, we're going to scale this down a little bit so the camera is a little bit closer to the boat, like that. And this thing we want to be inside of the ball, like that, looking down at the boat like that. And now I want to parent the camera into the sphere here, and then I'm going to turn off the sphere's renderer. And now we got the camera, the camera attached into that ball that's going to spin around. When I look at it in the test, it doesn't look like anything because it's an invisible camera spinning around. But in the world, we'll see that it's going to look awesome. All right, let's wrap this up here, coming to the bottom end of this stream. So we're auto-saved. Let's export this thing again as a zip. Pirate ship. And upload files to /pirate ship. Perfect. What files are we going to upload? These files. Extract to pirate ship. And we're going to upload them to here, my pirate ship folder. And when this is done, I just have to click this commit button down there. Okay, now I just have to wait because a couple cloud actions are going to happen on my GitHub here. It's going to process my files and then it's going to deploy them. And after they're deployed, I'll be able to refresh this page and see my changes, which will include that picture and it will include the camera, the orbit camera floating around. So the last deployment it did was 17 minutes ago. That can't be it. It still must be waiting for it to get processed. There it is. In progress. Cool. What's in progress? Why doesn't it show it on the other page? Oh, it's because I'm waiting. All right, almost ready to refresh and test. Okay, we're ready. So I click refresh here. Hopefully I don't have to shift refresh. And we should see my glorious attract camera before I even click anything. I don't have to click anything at all. I just sit here, twiddle my thumbs. See, I'm not clicking. And there we go. We got our orbit camera rolling. It looks a little weird with the web tabs there because you can see the back of them, but What are you gonna do? They're web tabs. Okay, I just want to make sure that the camera is going to go right through this starting point, and you can't even tell where it is because of the dope sheet stuff we did. Cool. Let's log in here. Go make sure that picture downstairs is updated, and then it will be time to take a couple pictures. Learn about pirates. You in the Cool, cool. So I'm going to come in here and take some screenshots like this in a moment. I don't have to do that on stream. I think it's good to wrap up the stream here since we are concluding. Taking screenshots, just go into screenshot mode. Let me talk about that for a minute, actually. I won't show the whole process of me taking my own screenshots, but let's say that you built something. I'll turn this off. You built something. You want to take some good hype screenshots. You want to hype it up. You want to make it look nice. So the first thing you should do is try turning on or going to the graphical options in here and turning on some filters like Bloom SAO, maybe that one, can't pronounce that word, or you could do it in photo mode like this. The AO, the Bloom and the AO matter a lot. Headlight is pretty cool sometimes. See how it makes the stuff brighter wherever the camera's at. The SSAO, sometimes you're gonna, it's not gonna work very well. That depends on the scene that you're in. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But you see, you just go over here, and now you don't want to have the you don't want to have the UI in the screenshot. So what you do is you click this little down drop down here, and you choose one of the overlays. Default overlay is this. That's no good. If you do none, it gets rid of the whole overlay, and you can get a clean screenshot that doesn't have any UI elements on it. Like the notification said, you press escape to get out of that. Or you could do something like this, which shows the parcel number and the logo on it, which is nice. Or you could do just the logo if you don't want to show people the parcel number yet. Good, good, good. Okay, so with those things, I'm going to be flying around here and taking some screenshots. Another cool trick is you want to take screenshots of somebody, not just an empty environment, right? So to do that, you just open another tab. On this other tab will be the your actor. This is my actor. Let me change my avatar for the actor to them. Walk him next to the photo op. Go back to my tab that has my photo mode in it, where I actually take my screenshots from. Position it over here. And there we go. Like that. And then walk my dude into a better position. There we go. Then you take your screenshot by pressing, you just capture your screen like you would take a regular screenshot of your monitor. And because the thing's taking up your whole screen, it's a clean, good screenshot. Okay, that's going to conclude the build stream for today. I'll be hanging out in here for the next few minutes, taking some screenshots to post onto social media, and I will see y'all. Let me face the camera as I sign off. I will see y'all on Friday for the next build stream, where we'll be starting something completely new. The pirate ship will be long in the past by then, and we're going to be making another amazing environment. Who knows what? Hopefully amazing. Hopefully awesome. Not always awesome, but hopefully awesome. Sometimes you try to build a scene and it just doesn't look right. You just got to keep grinding on it, get through the lighting stage where you start seeing how the lighting's going to look on it. And if it still doesn't look good after you start getting the lighting on it, then you gotta think about audibling and going with a different design. That actually happened on this parcel. If you remember, last Friday, when I started this build, it was not a pirate ship. It was an island. It was a tropical island with dolphins and palm trees. But it wasn't working out. It wasn't working out, so I scrapped it, audibled it to the pirate ship, and it worked out. Okay, thanks everybody for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Peace.